Hello and good afternoon to you. It's Destination Newry, our live coverage of elections 2014. The home team here at the Sports Centre in Newry is Newry itself, the ward or the zone of Newry. Our guests for the purposes of the count today, the other zones or wards, Crotleave, Downpatrick, Roallen, Slieve Croob, Slieve Gullion and the Mournes. Here we have, I suppose the best way to describe it is the hub of local politics, democracy in action. Here we have the folk from the many parties and the many people counting the votes. What has happened here so far is all the votes have been vindicated. They've been seen, they've been counted, and they've been ticked off as being properly executed. That's what has happened to the votes. They've been properly cast. And the difficulty at the moment is that it's not a difficulty, it's a reality, I suppose. There is a low turnout. We're beginning to hear that the turnout in this area, the new council area of Newry, Mourne and Down, this new council, only less than 50% of the people in the area of the electorate has turned out to vote. Now, we don't know, we can't confirm that for you yet, but what we can tell you is that up to now, the main counting has been of Mourne. The Mourne count has been ongoing. About to start, at the far end of the hall, is the count for Slieve Gullion is going to start there. And we're about to be told by the returning officer that the count for Roallen will start momentarily, perhaps 5 minutes away, in another room just outside the main hall here. Let me tell you of those who are hoping to gain the seats. In Crotleave, we've got 6 seats. We have the SDLP's Michael Carr, Sinead Ennis of Sinn Féin, Gillian Fitzpatrick of the SDLP, Mark Gibbons, Sinn Féin, Finbar Lamb, the Independent, Declan McAteer, SDLP, Wilma McCulloch, and that's DUP, Conor Thomas McCreevy, SDLP, William Mitchell, the Ulster Unionist Party, Mickey Rowan, Sinn Féin, and Jarlath John Tinley, he an Independent. There are 11 candidates going for 6 available seats in Crotleave. Take you now to Downpatrick and let you know the running order, the races and rider, the jockeys and horses, if you like, for Downpatrick. 5 seats available in Downpatrick and 8 people going for them. Naomi Bailey for Sinn Féin, Dermot Curran for the SDLP, Cadogan Enright, an Independent, Graham Fury, Ulster Unionist Party, Eamon McConvey, Sinn Féin, Colin McGrath, SDLP, Yvonne Moore, DUP, and Gareth Sharvin of the SDLP. As I say, there are 8 people going for the 5 seats. Let me take you now to the home port of Newry. Newry, who do we have here? We have many people, 6 seats available in Newry. There are 6 seats and 10 people are going for the 6. We have Charlie Casey of Sinn Féin, Jacinthia Duffy of the SDLP, Valerie Hart of Sinn Féin, Liz Kimmins of Sinn Féin, Joshua Lowery, the Ulster Unionist Party, James Malone, Independent, Kevin McAteer, SDLP, Peter Gerard McAvoy, SDLP, and Gary John Stokes, SDLP. There you have the 10 who are going for the 6 Newry seats. Now, Roallen is the next area, and as I said, Roallen will be very shortly commencing the count. At the moment, the only count that is ongoing here is the count for Mourne. Shortly, Slieve Gullion will, will open the count here in the main hall. In the adjacent hall, we will have Roallen starting the count in a few minutes' time. And in Roallen, 5 seats and 10 people are going for the 5 seats. We have Terry Andrews of the SDLP. We have Patrick Brown of the Alliance Party. Robert Burgess of the Ulster Unionist Party. Mickey Coogan, an Independent. Philip Hamilton, TUV. Harry Harvey of the Democratic Unionist Party. Eddie Hughes of Sinn Féin. Walter Lyons, the Ulster Unionist Party. And Alistair Straney of NI21 in its difficulties at the moment, but still hammering on here and hoping for success. And also we have Billy Walker of the DUP. Those are the 10 who are hoping for the 5 seats in Rowan. Slieve Croob, the district out beyond Maya Bridge and towards the east of the province, we have there 10 people going for 5 seats. The 10 people there in Slieve Croob: Stephen Burns of Sinn Féin. We have Audrey Byrne of the SDLP, Patrick Clark of the Alliance Party, Gareth Craig of the DUP, Shane King of the SDLP, Alan Lewis, UKIP, Matthew Morrison, NI21, Mark Mernon, SDLP, Paul O'Gribben, Sinn Féin, and Desmond Patterson of the Ulster Unionist Party. Just an announcement from the returning officer now.
The candidates, the count for Rowan is about to begin in activity room 1, which is just across the corridor, opposite the door to my left. And the count for Steve Gullion is about to begin in the next 10 minutes down at the back right-hand, high right-hand corner of the hall. Thank you.
That's the returning officer telling us there that the Rowan count, as we told you, just about to begin in the adjacent counting centre, the counting hall across the way in the Newry Sports Centre. Slieve Gullion. In Slieve Gullion we have 9 candidates going for 7 seats. Geraldine Donnelly of the SDLP, Terry Harty of Sinn Féin, Dyra Hughes of Sinn Féin, Mickey Larkin Sinn Féin, Kate Loughran of the SDLP, Lavelle McElwaith of the DUP, Roisin Mulgrew of Sinn Féin, Barra O'Murray of Sinn Féin, and David Samuel Taylor of the Ulster Unionist Party. So that's the 9 going for the 7 seats in Slieve Gullion. The Mourns, which are being counted at the moment, and the Mourns doing very well there, we have Harold McKee of the Ulster Unionist Party and Henry Riley of UKIP doing enormously well at the moment in the Mourns area. And who have we got representing the other parties in the Mourns? We have 7 seats and we have 10 candidates. Willie Clark of Sinn Féin for the Mourns, Laura Devlin, SDLP, Sean Doran, Sinn Féin, Glyn Hanna, DUP, Annette Holden, NI21, Jill McCauley of the Ulster Unionist Party, Kieran McAvoy of the Alliance Party, Harold McKee, the Ulster Unionist Party, Brian Quinn of the SDLP, and Henry Riley of UKIP. Now, in the course of the day, we have had good people here coming in to support their candidates. We have the party luminaries, if you like, and someone's coming past. Please come ahead, sir, please do. Yeah. This is the art and the science of live television, where we all work together. Down the way we have the BBC there doing its business. We're here, Destination Newry. You can find the entirety of the coverage. Everything that's happening here, you see it. Down there you see Margaret Ritchie. Sean Rogers beside her there, looking in on the count for Mourne, assiduously taking the notes and ticking the boxes. Tally men and tally women they are, trying to forecast how things are going. Earlier we were able to see Alex Atwood here, looking down. We've also had Henry Riley of UKIP with us here, all in supporting their particular people. I have also for you here news that Conor Murphy is in the hall. We have Alex Atwood, I've mentioned, Margaret Ritchie, Jim Wells, and it's an enormously interesting situation in which political enemies at the hustings, political enemies, there's Danny Kennedy there as well, just down there you see him talking to Jackie Patterson and Charlie Casey, just down there. Go to that now, please. You see them there making the very point here on Destination Newry that I was making. You have Danny Kennedy, Charlie Casey, John McCardle, a retiring SDLP councillor, and Jackie Patterson, the independent. There is the uniqueness of laughter away from the hustings, between the political opponents, laughing, joking, apparently happy together. Oh, my observation is that such camaraderie could be brought out onto the streets and life made simpler by a greater concordia between the political parties. They are enjoying the crack, and there they are. Now, the parties are huddled in their little corners here, little groups huddled together, doing the sums, totting up, and I have to say, and it's with some regret that I say it, I see a long face on Conor McCreevy of the SDLP going in crot leave. He seems to think that he's maybe not going as well as he should be going. But maybe that's a nervousness born out of the last election, when Conor, one of our best councillors, wasn't actually elected until until the distribution of votes for the 8th time. It does no harm to remind you here, as we broadcast to you on Destination Newry from the Sports Centre in Newry, it does no harm to remind you that this has been the PR system, proportional representation, or the single transferable vote. And that has meant it's a selection process by choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The old way of the X has now stopped. So the tellers that you see doing their business down below, there they are counting away. Their first task is to put the piles of votes into order by name and number 1. So all the number 1s go in one pile, and the pile begins to grow. And there comes a moment when there are so many number 1s for a particular candidate that that candidate is deemed elected. Then the balance of what he doesn't need above the quota, he's already gained the quota, what he doesn't need is then distributed to the person, the electors, a second choice. And that's the way it works all through. We expect to be here until about midnight on Destination Newry. It's going to be ongoing. It's going to be relentless. These people have a long evening and night ahead of them. They will continue the count. They will take their refreshments here, and they will count, and hopefully get the bulk of it done before tomorrow. There is one thing I do have to tell you now, and I do it with some interest, and it's just landed down into my hand, and you see it here. It's the feathers of an angel, perhaps, bringing luck to everyone on the floor below. But maybe not. Maybe it's simply come from a little pigeon nest up in the rafters above, and it falls down like so. Let us hope that it represents the feathers of an angel, bringing luck to all the workers in the beehive of local politics that we see down below us. We're listening now again to the returning officer.
Just over half an hour, I think. The count for Downpatrick in about half an hour.
Half an hour, as the man says, the count for Downpatrick will begin. Making good headway, it's all moving quickly. That means we will have, very shortly in half an hour, we will have had Downpatrick started, we have had Mourne started, and well underway. Roallan will have been started, and the other one I have for you, Slieve Gullion, will have been started. So we will have done 4 out of the 7. And that's good. That's pretty good progress for the beginning of the evening. Now, you come back to me, you've seen the floor, and we'll wish the people and tell them exactly what our expectation is. You're with Destination Newry. It's our election special 2014. We're here at the Count Centre in the heart of Newry, counting the local government election results here this day and this afternoon and this evening. We'll go on through until perhaps midnight. The European elections, well, that's a fish to fry on another day, and we don't expect any progress on that until Monday. But that count is occurring in Belfast, and it will be counted when all of the member states of the EU have completed their polling, their voting, when the voters have cast their preferences. It could be Monday before we in Northern Ireland hear the results of the European elections. We confidently expect that by midnight tonight we may well have it done and dusted and wrapped here in Newry for the new council of Newry and Mourne and Down. That's our new council, with the headquarters at the moment divided between Newry and Downpatrick. And for a full year, for 12 months, we're going to have that shadow council, people sitting together, and the decisions will be made as to where the final headquarters of the new council will be. Met Liam Hannaway earlier, the new chief executive of the council. Liam down there, very happy, looking forward to his task, young and youthful and ready to go for it. I told him I saw the face of his father, Owen Hannaway, a man of drama, a man of education, a man of music, from Lisleigh out the road. And he laughed at the good of that. promising to come into us in Destination Newry at a very, very early moment in his new career. And what else did Tom McCall is down there as well. Tom McCall, our Chief Executive of Newry and Mourne Council. Newry and Mourne Council coming to an end. Maybe we look again at the people, if we would, my cameraman. And we're looking down. There's Tom McCall. You see him in the centre field there, standing talking to a lady. And Tom is about to take his retirement as Chief Executive of Newry and Mourne District Council. His retirement coincides with the ending of the life of Newry and Mourne Council. As the council draws its life to a close, Tom McCall sets out on his new life of retirement. You're with Destination Newry. This is Rowan Hand, your presenter, with the election programme Newry and Mourne and Down. That's the new council, and we're bringing you the results as we get them. Go well, take care. We will be back to you when we have more to report. Stand there. Are we filming, Mr. Cameraman? Yep. Sir, how are you? Yes. You're with the election programme 2014 with Destination Newry, transmitting live to the world on the web from the Newry Sports Centre. I've with me here now a man for whom this was bread and water for as long as you can remember, a hard grafter of politics. Jackie Patterson, Independent, how are you?
That's fine,
yeah. There's a sadness in the air for you because this is the party's over kind of thing. Yeah. You've done it, and now you're retiring.
Yeah, you feel that way, but the only godsend we have is that we have another year, us older councillors have until next April, because this is the shadow council that's coming in. But I did feel yesterday when the buzz was around the areas, going around the stations, I called a few of the election stages, and I did feel that. And I'll give you an example. The people that didn't realise, there was one of my old neighbours now was in the booth yesterday at the Gateway Club.
Yes. John, will you join us here? We're live in air at the moment. Come, what's it? No, that's all right. Goodbye. I thought we could have got him there.
When she was in casting her vote, she was looking through the list, and she came out to the white. Where's Patterson? Where's Patterson?
You're not there. They were heartbroken because you were, more than anything, always recognised as a... John, watch the camera, please. You were a man of the people.
That's right, an independent. It's hard to be a good independent, but I mean an independent.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is someone who was never a member of any party, had no allegiance to anyone, whether in Dublin or Belfast or anywhere else. I took my directions from the people on the street, that I met daily on the street, and that's
Jackie, looking back over the years of politics, can I ask you, was it hard being a politician in Newry?
No, it wasn't hard, because the people, if there was decisions that you couldn't make or it wasn't going your way, people understood that there was, particularly if you're an independent, because there was a lot of this party politicking going on, because a lot of people in the council chamber who were members of parties felt they would love to be in my position maybe the night before when they were taking that vote. So there wasn't, for me, it was great, and I enjoyed the buzz. I enjoyed meeting the people on the street. I was on the street on a daily basis.
Did you feel the shadow, the weight of other parties on your shoulder trying to influence you and get you to change and do what they wanted you to do?
Yes, that would be, and that's where you had to be fairly strong. But I have to say that I had a good relationship with the parties in our council chamber, because they understood the position that I would have to take, and at times I would have to vote with one or the other. If I took the view, sometimes I abstained, and if I abstained, then I was in the position where the parties would say, right, that's okay, you can sit on the fence. But I wasn't sitting on the fence. I just thought the people that elected me wouldn't want me to take one or the other position.
Of course, you came from that reservoir of great goodness, the Newry people.
That's right.
Your old Newry stock, Mill Street.
That's the old Mill Street, back of the dam area, and those people come out strongly for me in that whole area, High Street, Church Street area, Chapel Street. That was all the region that I played in the streets, and those people, right, the generations would have come out to me.
You'd remember.
That was why on a couple of occasions I topped the poll. That was the reason, because those people come out and supported me.
You were a son of the people.
Son of the people, is right.
That was it. Well, now you look around you, I think this has got to be the beehive, if you like, of local politics, the hub of local politics. This is what it's about. This is the cutting edge. And they're opening the boxes now for Slieve Gullion. That's the next one.
Yes.
They're counting away at Mourne. Slieve Gullion happening. Roe Allen is happening over there. And soon we listen now. Just hold and we listen to the returning officer.
Quite a lot of attention. The count for Slieve Gullion has now started down in the corner on my right hand side. And for the Mournes area, I'm now going to deal with the council ballot papers. So candidates and their election agents have come and that me in the corner over here to my right hand side. The council ballot papers.
Do you want to go up there, Jack, and have a look at that? We'll catch you later.
No, I'm going to have a trouble with that. But anyway, I'll talk to you soon.
We will indeed. Good luck. Take care. So we're still live and the returning, hello Jim, there's Jim Wells passing through. Good to see you. And the returning officer is calling the candidates, the relevant candidates together. He's about to speak to them. We're not quite sure what's going on up there, but we shall hear presently. You're with Destination Newry, the election programme 2014. We'll hear presently from the returning officer. John, how are you? Can you tell me about that, if you wouldn't mind? John McArdle, another retiring councillor. Now, what's happening up there that we see? Have we look at that, my dear cameraman, sir? Turn around there and go behind you, where they're gathered.
They're looking at the spoiled votes.
So presumably the parties have got to agree that the votes are spoiled.
Yeah. Well, what happens is a vote will be put before, and if it's as near as possible, or if the part of the spoiled vote, if it's a small,
back to us now, Aaron. Yeah, keep going, John.
If it's a small factor, but if it's a nearly a ruined vote, then it's discarded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the discarding process is only completed when the parties look at it and sign it off as no good.
That's right. They're all asked to look at it and they're all asked to agree. Yeah. Is it so spoiled that it can't be verified, can't be included in the actual count?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you disappointed in the? Well, you are in the turnout.
Yeah. Yes, it's
under 50% at the moment. That's the way it's looking.
But people are saying that one of the main reasons for that is there's this feeling nothing is happening in the big house. Nothing is there's insufficient things happening in Stormont, and people are saying it has made them more apathetic.
So people look at Stormont, they're fed up with it. The flags, the past, and the inability of people to walk together on the road to peace. You're suffering at local level as a consequence.
There is no doubt about that. The local government vote is a reflection. It's a reflection of the inaction, the lack of action in Stormont. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the major factors.
John, I have to ask you the same question as I asked Jackie Patterson. You're retiring now from politics.
Yeah.
Would you like to be starting all over again?
Well, I've always loved politics. From I was a child, nearly in the cot, I was interested what was happening in the outside world. Who was running the world? Who was the king? Who was the queen? Who was the prime minister? Who was the president? Those kind of things would have fascinated me from a very young age. Yeah, and incidentally, people gave me an offer going over yesterday and said, "Why did you not stand?"
Yes.
Yeah. And even on the doorstep, I was actually embarrassed. I did more campaigning this.
Jim, would you join me for a moment, if you would? You know this man
here.
Oh,
do I know him?
John McArdle and Jim Wells together.
Has done turns from a decent man.
Oh, he's a decent man, surely.
Newry's bereft without him now standing, because there was 3 quotas here and they've missed it.
There were 3 quotas, surely.
That man Wells is not a man.
Jim, tell me, how is it going from the DUP point of view? The vote is down, especially in the urban areas.
Our vote, the DUP vote in Mourne has actually increased significantly.
Yeah, but the valid poll down, people haven't been coming out in general.
The numbers are down in terms of the turnout, but in terms of the vote that we've got, we're very pleased. There's certainly going to be 3 unionists elected in Mourne. The really encouraging news, it looks like there's going to be 2 unionists elected in Slieve Croob, which we hadn't banked on. And we need at least 9 councillors in this new council to have a blocking mechanism. So it's actually so far going better than we feared, and there's good transfer between the unionist family.
Is there a sadness, and maybe you should give people a reassurance, that even before the people are elected, you're talking about a blocking mechanism?
Yes, we need a blocking mechanism in Newry and Mourne to stop things like Irish language being imposed upon us. We make no apology for that whatsoever. The blocking mechanism is the same as the petition of concern at the Assembly, and there's nasty things like the naming of play parks and the Irish language and other issues which we have real problems with. and that gives us some control of the situation.
And that's what politics is about, the
Yes.
debate about things about which you disagree.
Because not all the nationalists are as reasonable as this man. Some of them come up with pretty nasty things as far as unions are concerned.
Well, I would say they might have a thing or two to say about you as well.
We're glad his 3 quotas won't be appearing today.
Jim, go well, we'll talk later.
Good luck,
Take care.
good luck, yeah.
So there you
Yes,
are.
yes.
The hard business of politics obviously continuing.
Well, funny enough, I did ring him recently and I said to him I was disappointed. I thought I might have been talking to him in his capacity as Minister of Health, but it just wasn't to be. But I know this, that regarding health matters and other matters, if he can help, he will help.
He will
and
help.
has helped me, has done things in the past for some of my constituents.
Well done, John. We wish you well and enjoy your retirement.
I'm not-
If you can get used. What will you do? Play golf or?
Oh, no, I'm not a good. But I'm an avid reader. I read a lot, and I intend with Patricia going more and more places now that we have the free time.
Well,
We will have it next March.
And you'll have the pass to go on the buses.
That's oh yeah.
The Queen pays our fare.
Yeah. Would you believe it? I have it quite a few years, and I've only travelled twice, literally twice in the train in all those years.
Well, your time is ahead of you
Right,
now.
right.
You're too busy to go anywhere other than
That's it. Oh,
to
yeah.
Monaghan Row up to the council,
That's
for goodness
that's
sake.
it. But it was I've enjoyed every moment of it, and it was a privilege to serve people. Yeah.
People would say that it was a privilege to have you as their representative.
Well, I mean, but I'm a very humble fella.
No, don't do humility. It robs the masses of inspirational opportunity. Let them seek to emulate
yeah.
you.
No, it was
Margaret, can you join me? Destination Newry, it's lovely to see you. Take care, all the best.
Very much so, Rowan.
It's going well for you.
Well, it's not going too badly.
Yeah, the general poll down a little bit.
Obviously, we're talking about.
Whoops.
That's John.
always
That's
trips.
John McCardle.
John has his unique way. You always took the camera with you there, John. He does that to test me.
I suppose we don't know what the actual overall poll is in HDEA, and we'll shortly find that out in some of them. But I suppose it was around about 45-46%, and I'm sure there is a political reason for that.
Yeah.
You did detect a little bit of apathy at the doors, because that was more to do with the inactivity and lack of movement at Stormont.
Yeah,
Yes.
John McCardle was saying that very
Yeah.
thing. He was saying that people felt that not enough things of a positive nature were occurring, because the story of Stormont has been a story of, if you write on a blackboard politics equals, people would say, flags, the past, and the old things that past couldn't resolve.
I understand that, but I would have to say that in our area things are very much different. They're about the bread and butter issues, about health, education, jobs, the economy, local planning issues. And I kept saying during this campaign that the SDLP was the party of strength, the party of service and the party of delivery. That's what we're about on the ground.
Margaret, was it a good idea to put 4 candidates up in Crotleave? Because there's one of your best people, Conor McGreevy there, he's got a worried look about him today.
Well, I think we haven't seen the full result of the tally, and we haven't heard any first count results. So wait and let's see what the situation is. We have 4 very good candidates in Crotleave,
Yes.
and you have to always to wait until all the transfers have been done to see what the final shakeout is.
Is it going to be a long shakeout deep into the night?
I would say you'll be here for quite a number of hours yet.
Okay, go well, take care.
Thank you.
All the best, Margaret. That's Margaret Ritchie of the SDLP, former leader of the SDLP, very solid woman of politics here in our part of the world. I see Henry Riley. Maybe we can get Henry there to come and talk to us. Will we swing round? Hello, Henry, may we have a word with you? We're live on air to the world at the moment, and maybe you would join us. Henry Riley of UKIP with us at the moment. Henry, how is it going from your point of view?
Well, it looks as if we've performed very, very strongly. And
the Riley bundle over there is very high.
It is, thank goodness. And I honestly think this was one of the most tense elections I've ever fought.
Really?
Because,
why was that?
Because there's a lot. The candidates are a lot higher quality, I think. You know, Harold McKee has been very active on the ground. Glenn Hanna's a very strong candidate. Brian Quinn's a very strong candidate. So I thought that my vote would be significantly reduced, but it actually seems to have held up very well.
Held up pretty well. What have you been hearing on the doorsteps as you've been going around?
Well, because I'm an MEP candidate also,
Yes.
I've been all over Northern Ireland, so if I'm going to be honest, I actually neglected the Mournes area, but I didn't canvass as many doors as I would traditionally. But
neglect of the area in canvassing by no way implies neglect of the area in caring.
Yeah, no, and I think because without blowing my own trumpet, I think I do try to respond to people's requests for help. And,
Well, it's showing itself in the bundle. Where are your second preferences going?
they're going mostly to the Ulster Unionists, the DUP, and a good lot to the SDLP as well.
Your people across, a good lot to the SDLP?
Yeah, I noticed Brian Quinn would be a very, very popular councillor across the religious spectrum in Mourne. And I see there's quite a few now have transferred to Brian.
I notice over there, I notice the togetherness of political difference.
Yeah.
I see unionists smiling and laughing with, I'm sorry, no, we're standing here. Please film us here. Now, I'm sorry about that. People just wanted us to move, but we shan't for the moment. This is important, and we do this first of all. I notice people, there's a togetherness across the divide. Unionists are laughing with nationalists, Republicans and loyalists laughing together. What's the mechanism, Henry, to bring that back together in real politics so there can be, out of camera shot, out of the public eye, good development occurring between the parties?
That's a difficult question. You know, I think there's just such a release of tension in here when the votes are counted that, you know, that translates into people being friendly to each other. And, you know, in the council chamber, regardless of what party the opposition are, you still have to go in there and you have to sit down and you have to cooperate with, you know, between each other. And you'll find that in most instances that councillors will all get on fairly well. You'll get some controversial subjects that will, you know, the sectarian head will rise up. But in general terms, like 95% of the time, there's no issues at all. Councillors go in and sit around the table and
do your business.
And try and do your business.
We have a larger table this time.
Yes.
We wish you well, Henry.
Well, thank you very
All
much
the best.
indeed. And keep
So
up.
we do our best. So we're at hello, how are you, sir? Man, we're live to the world just as we speak. How's the world of trade unionism going?
Well, it's in difficulties. Like they're under pressure all the time. But I'm here looking at results here.
Yeah, it'll be a while before you, because what you've got so far, the first one that's been counted and will be first out is across here is Mourne. They're starting to count Slieve Gullion,
Right.
and after Slieve Gullion they've started to count Roallan across the way, and that's how it is at the moment.
Right.
Okay.
I thought they would be better further on.
No, they're not.
In
No,
that.
it'll be
And the,
midnight tonight. It'll be
Will
late.
it? That
It will.
late?
It will.
So
Yeah.
will I be in tomorrow for the?
This is Terry Ruddy, by the way, and
I-
Terry Ruddy is the Confederation of Community Groups in Newry, the chair of that august body.
No, not the Senior Citizens Consortium.
Oh yes, I beg your
I-
pardon,
I-
the Senior Citizens Consortium.
Not the Confederation.
No.
Because somebody would be objecting to me saying things like
Well,
that.
sure, how would they object to a good man?
An old fella.
An old
A good old fella.
But listen, what is your organisation expecting from the new politics of our area?
Well, I don't know. The SL, I think that Newry City, 6 seats will go 3 Sinn Féin, 2 SDLP and Davy Hyland.
You think Davey will do it?
I think so.
He's a great
think
popular
so.
vote on the ground. He is
He has.
a popular lad.
He's been very popular and he's round about the place and he does a bit of work on the ground, you
Yeah,
know.
that makes
And that
good.
will stand to him, you know.
Okay.
So I hope that Gary Stokes will get elected.
Gary was a good lad who
No.
should never, in my view, have been
He lost-
ousted at all.
He lost the last time by 23 votes.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
But funny enough, I heard one on the radio today. There's a guy who lost somewhere about Northern Ireland the last time. He lost out by 1/3 of a vote.
1/3 of a vote.
1/3.
How do you get 1/3?
One-third.
That's the mathematics. Go well, take care.
take
Lovely
care.
to see you. You're with the election programme here on Destination Newry. It's the election special 2014. Goodness knows how long we're going to be here this evening. There's no sign of anything happening in terms of results yet. In the Mourne area, I can tell you, in the Mourne area, I'm looking at it here. I'm being directed into my position. I'm looking at Mourne. Downpatrick is there. Stay with me and I will tell you. Roallan is being counted at the moment. Slieve Gullion has started being counted. And what have we? We also have the news that we have the Mournes. I've told you the Mournes are being counted. Roallan's being counted. And well, all sorts of people are waving signs at me. So the place is full of expectant politicians. They want to succeed. They're monitoring the count with very, very great care indeed. They're watching it assiduously, ticking the boxes. All the people you see looking over the fence, those people are tally folk. They're tally men and tally women. And they're trying to ascertain what is happening. Don't worry about those young men. You stay on the camera. That's a very good idea. Forget about that. It's very hard to get people to do what you tell them to do, but we're doing our best here. So I'm looking around me here. I'm looking to see who else we can bring into shot at the moment for you. What we'll do is we'll take a break and pause for a little while. I'll go out, range out into the valley of political activity here and bring you in some corralled creatures of politics to hear more of what's happening, and we'll be back with you shortly. This is Destination Newry, the Election Special 2014. I'm Rowan Hand. Hello and welcome. Well, you haven't left us, you've been with us here for the live coverage of the election count here in Newry, Mourne and Down, in the heart of Newry in the Sports Centre. A man who's very soon to be out of a job is with me now, Michael Rowan, Sinn Féin, Wallen Point man and the present Mayor of Newry and Mourne. The last Mayor, the last man standing.
No, I wouldn't say that. There's another mayor to come after me.
For Newry and Mourne?
Yeah, they have a 10-month stint.
You have the shadow.
Yes.
You have the shadow.
No, not the shadow. We have a 10 months as Newry and Mourne Council yet to...
Before you go to the new one.
So
but nevertheless, the people elected today will be sitting on that council.
No, they'll be sitting on the shadow council. Newry and Mourne Council and Down District Council will continue on until the 31st of March of next year.
Of next year.
Yeah.
And the shadow council, how does that work?
Well, it'll come into being on the 10th. The AGM of that will be on the 10th of June. So
this year?
Yes, of this year.
It's a little tiny bit complicated, but nevertheless it's the way forward.
It's the way forward, and I'm sure as time moves on people will start to understand it better. It's like everything, a new venture, a new way forward is going to take people time to get their heads around it.
Your year as Mayor, it draws to a close. Your recollections of that year?
It has been one of the most enjoyable years I've had, I have to say. I was maybe a bit apprehensive at the start when I went into it, but once I got over that first month or two, I've found it to be of great enjoyment. It has been a fantastic experience to get out and about in Newry and Mourne, to meet so many people, to be welcomed so many places. It's just been very good.
You wore it like a comfortable old coat.
Well, I did get comfortable with it, as I say. After the first month or two, it did become part of me, and as I say, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't say anything different than that.
Michael, we're here at the count. It's slow enough. We have Mourne being counted, Slieve being counted, and Rowan being counted. The electorate seems to have been down this time. The poll is down. So people are talking about less than 50%.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. It's something we as parties will have to look at and see how we give people, more encouragement to come out on election days, and we'll have to, as I say, see what has happened. But I have to say, sometimes when the press feed negative stories out there all the time, it has to have a negative effect out there on the ground as well. And
the politicians aren't bad at their own negativity when you couldn't agree about Haas.
Well, I'm talking about the district council.
Yes, it's not your area of
Haas
concern.
up in the assembly, and them elections be in 2 years' time.
Maybe that's what's put people off when they've seen the intransigence of Stormont.
Well, I would also say, and I'm not just talking about the Haas talks or whatever, I'm just talking about general negativity about whatever the council seem to want to do or try to do. There seems to be a negative side to it, and we want to promote our area more. We want to promote what we're doing in our area more, and we want to promote a better area out there to the general public.
Your Newry seems to be flying ahead because you have the new public realm walkway at the canal. You've got a burgeoning nautical background of Newry being recognised again. And your cathedral quarter, your creamery quarter, it's all growing.
Yeah, and the new swimming pool is well on its way as well. And outside of Newry, we're also involved in quite a number of things. And there are a lot of positives. I have to say, along the canal in Newry, and I'm not a Newry man myself, but I have to say it looks fantastic.
It's going to be superb indeed. What sort of messages were you getting on the doorstep? Because no one more than Sinn Féin has perfected the art of the doorstep. And what have people been saying to you?
Well, in general, people have been very welcoming on the door. I haven't had too many issues raised with us, other than I think people in Mourne Point were happy enough with the work we as a party were doing in Mourne Point.
So this is going to go on long and late. It's hard to make predictions. So what are your tally people telling you? And what your people are hanging over the barrier? They're counting with the counters. What's the word coming back to you?
Well, I suppose at this case we're dealing with the Mourns, and it's looking very well for us there. Both Willie Clark and Sean Dorn are polling really, really well, so that's very positive. In Newry City, we seem to be coming back really strong this term, and in South Armagh, once again, it's polling very, very well.
Very strong. Okay, we wish you well. And
you,
wish
Ron.
well to your new council when it comes.
Yeah, well, I'm not there yet.
No, but well, fingers crossed for you. You're a good man. Take care.
Okay, Ron.
Go well.
Thank you.
Not at all. Good luck. So you're with the election broadcast, election special 2014. And here you are in the heart of Newry at the Sports Centre. We're broadcasting live to you from that. Man joining me now, Dominic Bradley, MLA, Sinn Féin, or an SDLP MLA with me now. You're most welcome, Dominic. How are you?
Thanks very much, Rowan. A little bit tired
I'd
and
say you
frayed
are.
around the edges, Rowan.
You're
but,
the kind of wise old owl of the SDLP in these parts.
Thank you very much.
What's your observation as the way things are going from that august perch?
From my august perch, well, I think they are. There may be one or two unexpected outcomes here. At this stage, it's difficult to say exactly which ones they are, but we do have tallies done, and there may be some changes. But
how accurate are the tallies, do you think?
Well, they are only indicators, and we can't depend totally on them, but they do give us a fair indication of how things are going. Whilst the figures may not be 100% accurate, there's obviously a degree of inaccuracy in them,
yeah, and also
either plus or minus.
Well, there's a man with a solemn countenance with us at the moment, and one of your best councillors here.
Yes.
And it's Conor McAreevy from Crockleave.
Yeah.
And Conor feels under pressure at the moment, and maybe part of that pressure was created. I don't know. What's the politics in putting 4 candidates up in Crockleave? What's that about?
Well, I expect it is based on the figures from previous elections.
Is that the way it works?
Yes.
Analysis are taken.
Yes, and I think each party wants to maximise its votes. There is a sort of traditional rule of thumb in PR that you sometimes put an additional candidate on to mop up votes. That's not always followed, but I expect that the branch in Crockleave have done a study of the figures there. But at this stage, it's difficult to be totally accurate.
Certainly,
as I say,
yeah.
the tallies are only rough indicators. Things can change, especially with PR, where votes are being transferred. And even though parties do ask voters to follow a particular pattern, 1, 2, 3, and so on, voters don't always abide by the advice given by parties.
Yeah. So the allocation of access of excess votes, that'll be significant when preferences are disseminated amongst the other candidates.
Yeah, it will, of course, and there will be winners and losers from those transfers. So, generally speaking, I suppose you could say that people do follow the directions given by parties, but there are always those who don't, and those votes can go to sometimes unexpected places and produce results which haven't been predicted.
Well, we're going to be here.
That's the fun of it, Rowan.
We're going to be here. This is like the beehive with all the workers. This is the hub of local democracy, isn't it?
It's true, yes. This is the hub of local democracy, and in the end of the day, everyone here at the moment is equal.
And
there's no one elected here yet.
And I also notice the camaraderie that exists away from the limelight between the politicians.
Well, that's true, because
the green meets the blue happily.
All politicians have to go through the same rigorous process of an election campaign, going out and facing the electorate on the doorstep, answering their questions and their queries, and when they come back here, it's in the lap of the gods. Certainly, there may be a few sureties in it, but there certainly are a few imponderables in it as well.
Well, we're going to be here to the bitter end, like yourself, I'm sure.
Yes.
We'll try to remain upstanding and enthusiastic, and maybe we'll talk later as the evening wears on.
The coffee bar is my right here
I see
if
it.
you need any
Exit.
substance.
We will do that. We'll go to the coffee bar. Take care. God bless you. Go well. You're with Destination Newry, broadcasting live from the Count here at Newry, Mourne and Down, the new council area in this part of the world. Counting is continuing. We're about to hear an announcement, I think, from the returning officer. He's about to tell us something here, I do believe. He's making ready to speak, and perhaps we can patch into this and see what's going to be said. At the moment, the count is ongoing for Mourne, it's ongoing for Roallan, it's ongoing for Slieve Gullion. Those are the areas. He's left us now. Sean, come back to me, please. Thank you. That's it. Get the camera round. We thought he was going to speak there and tell us something, but he's not. He's gone back to his own bit of business there, in conversation with his people, examining some new statistics. You're with Destination Newry, the live output from the Count in the Sports Centre in Newry, here at the heart of the new electoral area of Newry, Mourne and Down.
In the local elections, I have one of the new people on the block, Kate Loughlin. You're very welcome to Destination Newry's live screening here on the local elections.
Thank you, Damien.
Kate, this is your first delve into the politics. It has been exciting, and it has been tough, and it has been a long campaign, and we have nobody elected here yet.
Well, not yet. It's all in the hands of the gods. As you can see, there's plenty of people around here waiting on the count. And all I can say is I'd like to thank the people that voted for me. And if I do get elected, I'll wait until it's officially announced. And if it is, I just hope I can serve the people of Slieve Gullion to the best of my ability.
Okay, I have no doubt about this, and I know you'll be very well known for your Gaelic connections. I would say a tough championship match wouldn't have a pickle on this.
Not really. It doesn't last that long. It doesn't last 3 months. You don't have to knock doors and ask people to come out and vote for you.
Well, Kate, it has been a pleasure speaking to you here on Destination Newry, and hopefully you'll do well, so the best of luck to you. It's great to have my own club member here tonight.
Well, don't know what to say to you, Damien. Just as in the hands of gods, and just to wish everybody all the best. And it's not an easy thing to put your name on a list to go forward in politics, which I never was involved in before. And all the best to all the candidates that is elected, and I look forward to working with all the different parties.
And Kate, you have enjoyed your thing into it here, yeah?
I have, and I couldn't end this interview without wishing my best friend Patricia, who was my right-hand woman, for the work that she done. There's people getting paid thousands of pounds in Westminster to do what Patricia done for me. Thanks, Patricia.
No bother. Well, there we go. Kate Loughlin, one of the new people on the local campaign. Kate, good luck.
Thank you, David. Right, you much.
11,042. The total number of ballot papers rejected were 173. The number of valid ballot papers was 10,869. 10,869. The quota was 1,359. 1,359. The number of first preference votes for each candidate is as follows. Clark Willie, 1581, 1,580. Devlin Laura, 1,708. Sean, 1,513. Hannah Glenn, 973. Holden Annette, 148. Macaulay Jill, 494. McAvoy Kieran, 260. McKee Harold, 1,352. Quinn Bryan, 796. Riley Henry, 1,964. As a result, the following candidates have been deemed elected, and they're in alphabetical order. Clark Willie, Devlin Laura, Doran Sean, Riley Henry. I now propose to move to stage 2 and transfer the surplus of Riley. Are you content that I proceed? Okay, thank you.
We topped it fairly convincingly.
It's beyond your dream.
It is, it really is, because we had such a high quality field of candidates this time.
Where do you think your surplus will go?
I think it will stay within Mourne. I think Glenn Hanna Harold McKee and Brian Quinn, also the SDLP guy. I think they'll all pick up some.
They'll do well.
More and people are very tight that way.
You are. You're good. You're a good community together.
Yes.
So this augurs well for what's to come on Monday, perhaps.
Well, that's a much bigger issue.
That's
and
the Euro election.
Yes. We're not under any delusions that we're going to get a huge vote for Europe, but if we get a respectable vote, we'll be happy enough.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you for your brilliant coverage.
Not at all.
Okay,
Take care. Right, there you are. You got it from the man himself, Henry Riley of UKIP, 1,964 votes. Let me just remind you of those elected. Elected on this occasion at the first announcement from the returning officer, 1,581 votes for Willie Clark of Sinn Féin. Willie Clark is deemed elected. We now then have Laura Devlin of the SDLP elected with 1,781 votes. Sean Doran of Sinn Féin elected with 1,513 votes. Henry Riley, with whom we've just been speaking, of UKIP, 1,964 votes. And the returning officer is now set about the task of distributing the surplus votes, those of Henry Riley. The quota here was 1,359, so that's leaving 600 votes to be distributed, and we'll bring you the news of that redistribution of votes as soon as we get it here. You're with Destination Newry's coverage of the election 2014, the election for the membership of the new council, Newry, Mourne and Down. Hello again, it's Destination Newry's election coverage 2014. The two Sinn Féin men just elected into Mourne. We have Willie Clark and Sean Doran. Congratulations, lads.
Well, thanks very much.
What was the secret of the winning? Hard work, I suppose, around the doorsteps, the fields and the valleys of Mourne.
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. You know, we actually got on the ground, done a lot of work, a lot of bread and butter issues over the years, and we've seen the growth of Sinn Féin right across Southdown. Particularly in the Mournes and the Newcastle area, where it's grown steadily. And I think it's also about positive politics. People want positive politics. They want people to get on and do the business.
You did well. You have 1,581 votes.
Yeah.
It's a very substantial vote.
It is a very, very good endorsement of what Sinn Féin is doing, and on a local basis on what we're doing as well. And in regards to the vote could have even been much stronger, in my opinion, because there was a change of polling station in Newcastle which disenfranchised many people from voting on the Castlewellan Road and the Dundrum Road. Where all the social housing is, and people didn't make it up to the new polling station. So it could have been a bigger endorsement of what we were doing, but very, very pleased with what we achieved.
Sean, a pleased man this evening as well. Sean Doran, you did very well. What did you get, Sean? You have a good... We'll break for a moment. We'll hear what the Richard. Stay with me, boys, will you? They're doing the Steve Gullion, the first thing, yeah. It's no result yet, so you can come back to me, please, if you would. Thank you. So, Sean, your vote was 1,513.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that as much or less than you'd expected?
More than expected. Last time I got around 1,300 votes, but I've worked very hard in the Mournes, especially the GAA and the youth.
And what were the issues that got you elected? What were you being asked to provide on the doorsteps?
Well, more facilities for the youth. You know, especially through the GAA and Halloween events, stopping like antisocial behaviour all around the Mournes, which has worked a whole lot. To save the pace now, £30,000. We've got Ballymartin, a new football pitch, you know, where I work. You know, after our goalposts were cut down and all that sort of stuff. But I'm really working with cross-community relations, trying to build.
Is that building across the community, Willie? You know, we see the Unionists and the Nationalists in the broadest terms of labelling. We see them getting on very well here. Why can't they get on very well outside here?
Well, I think that proves the good work we're involved in with people, lay people as well in the community as well. We're doing a lot of good cross-community work.
Hold that thought. No, you're okay, stay with us.
Just in case you can't hear me or didn't hear me the last time, we're going to do the doubtful ballot papers for Steve Gullion. just now, and we're doing them in the morning for safeguarding.
Maybe you tell the people what he was talking about there. What does that mean? What's he going to do?
It's basically,
up there?
there's a number of ballot papers that will be slightly suspect. You know, there might be a slight mark against one that's maybe not a clear one, but it may be an X, 2, 3 type of thing, where the candidates and their election agents agree, yes, that's a valid vote.
John, do you see any evidence on the ground that there is this new politic coming forward where Sinn Féin and the unionist end of the spectrum are starting to develop a well hammered out mutual respect?
Well, I know in the councils, like working with the DOAs, it's absolutely good. All the councils seem to work together and things of roads, all that sort of stuff for their own communities. But in the bigger picture, there's a whole lot to be done yet. You know, but we're moving on. We're coming forward all the time. That's the main thing. Like.
Gentlemen, it's a big challenge. It's the new council. It's the bigger council. It's Newry, Mourne and Down. You're coming into us, into Newry in a sense. How does that feel? You're the new kids on our block.
We're confident. Everything's up for debate. Everything's up for discussion. You know, we come into this partnership on an equal basis. We'll have our discussions. I think the important emphasis you need to place is that we need to provide good services for the people. And that's what it's about. Quality service, and we touched on proper leisure centres. A new leisure centre for Newcastle is essential, and a health and wellbeing centre. That's something that we've campaigned on. Yeah. It's something that there's a need for, and it's something we'll be continuing to.
Is there a danger that the council will break down into sectional compartments, that you look after Newcastle, Newry look after Newry, and never the twain shall meet?
I would say not with me and Willie. Anyway, like Willie and myself will work together for all the people of the council, you know, in the whole area.
And you see it as an entire council already? You feel
I do, yeah.
Well, the entity is working?
We're working together a good way there, you know, for over a year, just getting things put together, and I think we can work together. You know, especially the likes of Willie and myself, they're work for the people, with the people, you know, so I think we can do it all right.
We wish you good luck, boys.
I appreciate that, thanks very much.
Welcome to the city of Newry, the capital of the district. Dare I say that?
But for everybody looking in, I'd just like to thank all the voters for endorsing us. My election agent, Fra Cochran, campaign manager, Noel Smith.
I'd like to thank my whole team. Everybody worked for me, everybody voted for me.
Okay,
thank
guys,
you as well.
go well and good luck. Take care. Well, there you have it. Let me remind you of the count here for Mournes, and we have 4 people elected. Willie Clark, you just heard him there, of Sinn Féin, 1,581 votes. Who else have I got for you? I have Laura Devlin, SDLP, elected on 1,781 votes. Hopefully we'll speak to Laura momentarily. We have Sean Doran, Sinn Féin, elected on 1,513 votes. And we have Henry Riley of UKIP, topping the poll, 1,964 votes, and his quota of about 600 votes in the process of being redistributed just now. You're with Destination Newry. It is the election special, election 2014. Back with you presently. Hello again, it's Destination Newry's election coverage 2014. The 2 Sinn Féin men just elected into Mourne. We have Willie Clark and Sean Doran. Congratulations, lads.
Well, thanks very much.
What was the secret of the winning? Hard work, I suppose, around the doorsteps, the fields and the valleys of Mourne.
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. You know, we actually got on the ground, done a lot of work, a lot of bread and butter issues over the years, and we've seen the growth of Sinn Féin right across Southdown, particularly in the Mournes and the Newcastle area, where it's grown steadily. And I think it's also about positive politics. People want positive politics. They want people to get on and do the business.
You did well. You have 1,581 votes.
Yeah.
It's a very substantial vote.
It is a very, very good endorsement of what Sinn Féin is doing, and on a local basis on what we're doing as well. And in regards to the vote could have even been much stronger, in my opinion, because there was a change of polling station in Newcastle which disenfranchised many people from voting on the Castlewellan Road and the Dundrum Road. Where all the social housing is, and people didn't make it up to the new polling station. So it could have been a bigger endorsement of what we were doing, but very, very pleased with what we achieved.
Sean, a pleased man this evening as well. Sean Doran, you did very well. What did you get, Sean? You have a good... We'll break for a moment. We'll hear what the stay with me, boys, will you? They're doing the Steve Gullion, the first thing, yeah. It's no result yet, so you can come back to me, please, if you would. Thank you. So, Sean, your vote was 1,513.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that as much or less than you'd expected?
More than I expected. Last time I got around 1,300 votes, but I worked very hard in the mornings, especially the GAA and the youth.
And what were the issues that got you elected? What were you being asked to provide on the doorsteps?
Well, more facilities for the youth. You know, especially to the GAA and Halloween events, stopping like antisocial behaviour all around the mornings, which has worked a whole lot. To save the pace now, £30,000. We've got Ballymartin, a new football pitch, you know, where I work. You know, after our goalposts were cut down and all that sort of stuff. But I'm really working with cross-community relations, trying to build.
Is that building across the community, Willie? You know, we see the Unionists and the Nationalists in the broadest terms of labelling. We see them getting on very well here. Why can't they get on very well outside here?
Well, I think that proves the good work we're involved in with people, lay people as well in the community as well. We're doing a lot of good cross-community work.
Hold that thought. No, you're okay, stay with us.
Just in case you can't hear me or didn't hear me the last time, we're going to do the doubtful ballot papers for Steve Gullion just now. We're doing them in the morning for Steve Gullion.
Maybe you tell the people what he was talking about there. What does that mean? What's he going to do?
It's basically,
up there?
there's a number of ballot papers that will be slightly suspect. You know, there might be a slight mark against one that's maybe not a clear one, but it may be an X, 2, 3 type of thing, where the candidates and their election agents agree, yes, that's a valid vote.
John, do you see any evidence on the ground that there is this new politic coming forward where Sinn Féin and the Unionist end of the spectrum are starting to develop a well hammered out mutual respect?
Well, I know in the councils, like working with the DOAs, it's absolutely good. All the councils seem to work together and things of roads, all that sort of stuff for their own communities. But in the bigger picture, there's a whole lot to be done yet. You know, but we're moving on. We're coming forward all the time. That's the main thing. Like.
Gentlemen, it's a big challenge. It's the new council. It's the bigger council. It's Newry, Mourne and Down. You're coming into us, into Newry in a sense. How does that feel? You're the new kids on our block.
We're confident. Everything's up for debate. Everything's up for discussion. You know, we come into this partnership on an equal basis. We'll have our discussions. I think the important emphasis you need to place is that we need to provide good services for the people. And that's what it's about. Quality service, and we touched on proper leisure centres. A new leisure centre for Newcastle is essential, and a health and wellbeing centre. That's something that we've campaigned on. It's something that there's a need for, and it's something we'll be continuing to.
Is there a danger that the council will break down into sectional compartments, that you look after Newcastle, Newry look after Newry, and never the twain shall meet?
I would say not with me and Willie anyway. Like, Willie and myself will work together for all the people of the council, you know, in the whole area.
And you see it as an entire council already? You feel
I do, yeah. Well,
the entity is working?
We're working together a good way there, you know, for over a year, just getting things put together, and I think we can work together. You know, especially the likes of Willie and myself, they're work for the people, with the people, you know, so I think we can do it all right. Like.
We wish you good luck, boys.
I appreciate that, thanks very much.
Welcome to the city of Newry, the capital of the district. Dare I say that?
But for everybody looking in, I'd just like to thank all the voters for endorsing us. My election agent, Fra Cochran, campaign manager, Noel Smith.
I'd like to thank my whole team, everybody that worked for me, everybody that voted for me.
Okay,
thank
guys,
you as well.
go well and good luck. Take care. Well, there you have it. Let me remind you of the count here for Mournes, and we have 4 people elected. Willie Clark, you just heard him there, of Sinn Féin, 1,581 votes. Who else have I got for you? I have Laura Devlin, SDLP, elected on 1,781 votes. Hopefully we'll speak to Laura momentarily. We have Sean Doran, Sinn Féin, elected on 1,513 votes. And we have Henry Riley of UKIP, topping the poll, 1,964 votes, and his quota of about 600 votes in the process of being redistributed just now. You're with Destination Newry. It is the election special, election 2014. Back with you presently.
total ballot papers counted, 7,022. 7,022. The total number of ballot papers rejected, 78. 78. The number of ballot papers, 6,944. 6,944. The quota is 1,158. 1158. The percentage poll, 48.34%. The number of first preference votes for each candidate. Andrews, Terry, 1,321. Brown, Patrick, 510. Burgess, Robert, 1,145. Coogan, Mickey, 149. Hamilton, Philip, 433. Harry, 952. Hughes, Eddie, 552. Lyons, Walter, 672. Strani, Alistair, 267. Walker, Billy, 943. As a result, the following candidate has been deemed elected. Andrews, Terry. We propose to move to stage 2 to allocate Andrews' surplus of 163 votes, which will proceed in Activity Hall 1, Argument 10. Okay, thank you.
That's the word from the returning officer, Terry Andrews of the SDLP, elected with 1,321 votes. We hope to speak to Terry momentarily. The total vote here, the total number of papers, 7,022. 78 votes, papers were rejected. The valid papers, 6,944. The quota, 1,158. And Terry Andrews in with 1,321. Patrick Brown of the Alliance Party, 510. Robert Burgess of the Ulster Unionist Party, 1,145. Mickey Coogan, an independent, 149. Philip Hamilton, TUV, 433. Harry Harvey of the DUP, 952. Eddie Hughes of Sinn Féin, 552. And Walter Lyons of the Ulster Unionist Party, 672. Alistair Straney of NI 21, 267. And Billy Walker of the DUP, 943. I'm rather hoping that we'll get the victorious candidate here. The Damien is out there trying to fetch him in for us. Not available to us just at the moment, but we will certainly be talking to him presently. What's happening now, the votes are being redistributed. The excess votes cast for Terry Andrews are now being redistributed, and the count is continuing for the Sinn Féin area. That's happening. Downpatrick is underway, and the redistribution continues for Roallan. You're with the election programme 2014 with Destination Newry. It's a joy to be here with you, bringing you up-to-date information on the very heart of the electoral system. the votes that are being cast, the people who are succeeding and the people who are disappointed on this occasion. So you can see across the sports hall here at the sports centre, the excitement, the chatting and the talking. And Damien is coming. Come and talk to me if you would, Damien McCulloch. Damien was over there trying to garner the newly elected councillor. What's the situation over there? What are they saying?
They're going over to get a family photograph outside, so that's where he's away at it, and he says he'll be straight over to yourself, Ron.
Well, I want to task you with the duty of making sure he's brought here.
Oh, I've asked him to come in, so I'll go straight and get him after the photographs are taken.
Okay, jolly good, jolly good. Take care. Come in here. We're back now with Terry Andrews, the successful candidate, with Margaret. How are you, Margaret Ritchie, again?
I'm absolutely delighted for Terry and for us in Rowallan, because we fought long and hard to get this seat way back in 1985, and I wanted to be absolutely sure, as did the SDLP, that we retained this seat. I want to welcome Terry back into the SDLP. He has done a wonderful job for us because it's based on service and delivery and working for the people, and Terry has definitely proved that.
I was going to ask you that about the formula for getting Terry in. Terry, the formula is you.
Well, more or less, I think it's a team effort. You know, for years I've always had a great admiration for the party and for the principles which they spliced over the years, very hard years, whenever they worked tirelessly for the benefit of all the people, and that's what attracted me to the SDLP whenever I was a teenager, and for many years.
It's a long provenance with them.
It is indeed. I was saying to Margaret that many a time I sat in the living room writing cards to all hours of the morning and night with buckets of glue and paste, putting posters up.
So you've worked hard and you've worked long, and now you've got the result.
Well, at the end of the day, the result, I owe the result to to everybody in Rowallan who worked hard and who supported me through the ballot box by giving me number ones, and as well as number ones, going right down through the preferences. Everybody, literally the whole of Rowallan, in their own way, back to the winning team.
Something about who you are.
It does, but at the end of the day, I sort of believe that we're all in it as a team, and at the end of the day, I feel privileged being part of Team SDLP.
Sister of Terry, you're proud as well here.
Extremely proud, yes, we're delighted for Terry.
But did he turn your home into a kind of an election den, and all the hard work that was going on?
Well, we spent most of it out canvassing with him, so we weren't in the home too much. We were very busy out in the streets.
Terry, what were you hearing at the doors? What were people saying?
Well, more or less what people were saying, it was more or less bread and butter issues affecting the local district. So, for example, the threat to our hospital services, like, so for example, the Down Hospital in Down Patrick, along with Margaret and everybody, we've been working tirelessly with the community and leading the community's fight against the South Eastern Trust and downgrading our hospitals in Down Patrick. And as well as that, there everyday bread and butter issues, we were getting that in the door. And the fact that people complimented the hard work that we've done in fighting people's corners on a wide raft of issues.
Margaret, Rowallan is new to Newry and Mourne people. Will you fight as hard for the good rights of Daisy Hill Hospital as you've done for Down?
As MP for South Down, I have the privilege of representing two hospitals, Down Hospital in Downpatrick, which covers Down and Mourne, and of course Daisy Hill Hospital. And only recently I was very proud to represent the interests of the local community in the southern end of South Down in terms of the stroke unit in Daisy Hill Hospital. So I believe that health, education, jobs and the economy are the principal issues that impact on the local population. It is interesting to point out that it's only Crossgar ward that is actually in South Down from Rowallan. The rest is in Strangford constituency, but we all have worked very hard together to achieve this seat, and I am absolutely delighted.
I can see it in you. A little bit of Strangford is coming to us.
Yes, indeed.
And also, one of the qualities that I've always believe in, and Margaret is the same, is putting people first and working with anyone for everyone. That's important cornerstones. And
you guys go well, because it's a credit to you, and well done.
And thank you very much.
It's lovely to see how all the politicians are, at least within the portals of this place,
are getting on so very, very well.
Well, that's absolutely. But again, I owe this victory to the people of Rowallan who placed their trust in me either as a first preference or preferences on the paper. I owe this victory to them, and I owe it to my family, to my friends and colleagues who placed their trust in me, and also to family and friends who are no longer with us today.
Terry, you have 5 years to pay them all back. It's going to be, the good things will be done. One sense is that it's about to happen. Go well. God bless you. Go well. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Well, there you are. It's the victorious candidate in Rowallan. We know very little at this stage about Rowallan here in Newry and Mourne and Down. But we'll be learning. We'll be learning all the way. And a little bit of Strangford. That's Rowallan coming to us in Newry and Mourne. The geographical landscape changes. The political landscape is perhaps changing to the extent that folk are talking about a new politic in the new council, where opposition will get on better together, and that the whole thing will take us forward, much, much further forward on the road to a greatly desired peace. You are with Destination Newry. It's the 2014 election special here at the Sports Centre in Newry. Go well. Talk to you again shortly.
Dead on. Okay, well, we're back live again. Harold, congratulations and well done.
Thank you very much, sir. It's quite a struggle there. It took quite a while there to get that sorted, but we're in anyhow. And that for the sake of short of 7 votes at first preference, but there you are. That's the importance of postal votes and proxy votes. And for those that don't come out, could have made it very simple, but 6 hours later we're there.
Well, there's no question, and I look over and I see the percentage of the vote. It was 0.31% of a vote.
That's an awful slice. I had away over 1,000 transferred there, and I ended up with like 200 or something. So it's a big chunk, you know.
Well, look, there's no doubt about it. Harold McKee, congratulations and well done being elected to the new Super Council.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that'll be a challenge in itself. Yet I've spent 3 years in Newry and Mourne Council, so now we've extended and brought in another council into it. So we look forward to working and planning issues, whatever. It's a bigger scope, so a bigger area we have to deal with. And obviously, I had the opportunity of working with Jill McCauley, who was able to do a lot of work for me and from Newcastle and Castlewell area, and I hadn't to go down there. She done all the hard work for me and set me up in this far, so I'm very grateful for what she has done.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Harold, and well done. Look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you. Well, I hope it's a while before we're talking.
Well, not in an election capacity anyway. Well done, congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
Dead on. There we go. Harold McKee just elected. He had to wait a long, long time there, and the percentage of the vote came across at 0.31% of a vote, and Harold picked up, after the second count, he picked up 200 votes, which brought him a grand total of 1677.50 on the second count. So Harold is now deemed elected in the Mourne's constituency.
The result of the ballot for Slave DEA is total ballot papers counted 11,370, 11370. Total number of ballot papers rejected 216, 216. Number of valid ballot papers 11,154, 11154. The quota is 1,395, 1395. The percentage poll was 57.33%. The number of first preference votes for each candidate: Donnelly, Geraldine, 1,516. Party Kerry, 2,135. Hughes, Darragh, 899. Larkin, Mickey, 1,411. Loughran,
Monty.
In alphabetical order, Geraldine Donnelly, Terry Marty and Mickey Larkin.
Is my mic off?
Well, we're very welcome back here to the long-awaited Slieve Gullion count, the first count, and we have 3 councillors elected. And Terry Hurdy, congratulations, you topped the poll on a vote of 2,135.
Thank you.
And Mickey Larkin, 1,411. The quota was 1,385. Congratulations, 2 elected Sinn Féin councillors in the new Slieve Gullion ward.
Thanks very much.
Terry, it was a long old wait here all day, but I suppose when it comes to this stage, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's a long number of days there, right through from the polling. It started yesterday morning at 7 o'clock, right through till 10 o'clock last night, another early start this morning and that. But we did put in a lot of hard work, but it certainly is worth it.
And of course, we're going live around the world here, so I think you would like to say hello to your fellow over in Vancouver.
That's right. The very best to Martin and Paul. Martin, as you say, Martin's in Vancouver and Paul's in Melbourne, and very best to both of them.
So there we have the barge over on the other side of the world. And Mickey, congratulations, Drummatee man, done well here this afternoon.
It was a great experience. I'm glad to be elected. It's been a long 6 months, hard slog, door to door, as all the candidates have been doing. And it's great to see the people of South Armagh coming out to support us.
And lads, part of the new Super Council, I have no idea how it's going to work, but your feet's on the table now.
Yes, well we have had the Statutory Transitional Committee where we have been working with Down Council for the last year or so, you know, so we have a lot of preparations done and I think we're well ready for it.
And Mickey, I know you're one of the newer boys in the block here, and you have an old hand in Terry. I'm sure Terry will be able to keep you well in check over the coming years.
Yeah, well, we always look to Terry for advice on any issues that come up and guidance within the council for anything we need, you know, so he's the man for us.
Well listen, congratulations Terry Hurdy and Mickey Larkin on being elected in the Slieve Gullion ward. Well done lads. Well, there we have it. The 2 lads, one from Drummatee and one from Crossmaglen, have been elected here this afternoon, and Geraldine Donnelly has been elected as well. She hit a score of 1,516 votes, so well done to Geraldine. And I'm going to see if I can get a hold of Geraldine. I talked to her earlier on. I do meet her regular in Camelot when she's shopping, so I will go and see can I pick up Geraldine and have a chat with Geraldine. Okay, welcome back here to our live streaming of the local elections in Newry, and we have Geraldine Donnelly, the SDLP. Geraldine, congratulations and well done being elected.
Thank you, Damien. Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be elected again
to serve the people of Newry and Down, our new council area.
See, I have a wee issue with that. I think it should be called Gullion, Newry and Down.
Gullion, good name. That's a good suggestion.
Well, there we go, Geraldine. But listen, congratulations. The tally was 1395, and you picked up 1516. And your running mate Kate Blocker, and Kate is sitting on 1078. So it's going to be a bit of a battle at the end for the last seat.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit tight, but I'm confident that Kate can do it. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the people who came out and supported me, to thank all my colleagues who came out and canvassed with me, and all those brilliant people who offered us cups of tea, etc. And I'm now looking forward to working again and continue the work that I have been doing for the people who voted for me and all the others out there who didn't.
Well, Geraldine, listen, it's been brilliant here. I know I meet you regular in Camla, and it's always good to meet you on the battle. And you know, there is a buzz about how it happens here and the tally men. But you know, in this mad instance where we have to wait on scores coming in, I love this because this is what elections about.
It is indeed, and there's a real buzz about the place today, and it's lovely to be here to congratulate your colleagues at this time. So,
Geraldine Donnelly, thanks very much. Thanks a million, Geraldine. We'll just be with.
At the second stage of the transfer of the surplus votes of Andrews, a total of 1,321 papers transferred. There were 115 non-transferable papers, resulting in 1,206 transferable papers at a value of 0.13. The remaining candidates received the following votes. Brown, Patrick, number of papers transferred 415, value at 0.13, 53.95. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 563.95. Burgess, Robert, number of papers transferred 65, value at 1.13, 8.45. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 1,153.45. Coogan, Mickey, number of papers transferred 87, value at 1.13, 11.31. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 160.31. Hamilton, Philip, number of papers transferred 37, value at 0.13, 4.81. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 437.81. Harry, number of papers transferred 53, value at 0.13, 6.89. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 958.89. Hughes, Eddie, number of papers transferred 336, value at 0.13, 43.68. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 595.68. Lyons, Walter, number of papers transferred 22, value at 0.13, 2.86. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 674.86. Strani, Alistair, number of papers transferred 63, value at 0.13, 8.19. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 275.19. Walker, Billy, number of papers transferred 128, value at 0.13, 16.64. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 959.64. As a result of this stage, 2 candidates have been excluded. Coogan, Mickey, Strani, Alistair. We now propose to move to stage 3 to allocate the 2 excluded candidates' votes in highest order. Are you content? Thank you.
Need all in.
Do you want me to give this just?
Yeah, and then can you...
Well, we're back after the Llewellyn second count, and it goes as Patrick Brown is sitting on a total of 563.95 votes. Robert Burgess is sitting on 1,153.45 votes. Mickey Coogan, well, he got 160.31 in total. He has been excluded in this one. Peter Hamilton, TUV, he's sitting at 437.81. Harry Harvey, DUP, he's sitting at 958.89 votes. Eddie Hughes, Sinn Féin, he's sitting at 595.68. Walter Lyons, Ulster Unionist Party, is sitting at 674.86. Alistair Stranney, NI21, total 275.19 votes, and Billy Walker, DUP, is sitting now at 959.64, and we've been told that Alistair Stranney and Mickey Coogan have now been excluded, and their votes will be distributed down through the list. So we're here for another while yet, so nobody's gone home yet. The cocoa is on the boil, and we await the other results. We also await what's happening for the second count in the Slieve Gullion ward. So don't go away, we're still here. Okay, welcome back here to our live streaming of the local elections in Newry, and we have Geraldine Donnelly, the SDLP. Geraldine, congratulations and well done being elected.
Thank you, Damien. Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be elected again to serve the people of Newry and Down, our new council area.
See, I have a wee issue with that. I think it should be called Gullion, Newry and Down.
Gullion, good name. That's a good suggestion.
Well, there we go, Geraldine. But listen, congratulations. The tally was 1395, and you picked up 1516, and your running mate Kate Loughlin, Kate, is sitting on 1078. So it's going to be a bit of a battle at the end for the last seat.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit tight, but I'm confident that Kate can do it. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the people who came out and supported me, to thank all my colleagues who came out and canvassed with me, and all those brilliant people who offered us cups of tea, etc. And I'm now looking forward to working again and continue the work that I have been doing for the people who voted for me and all the others out there who didn't.
Well, Geraldine, listen, it's been brilliant here. I know I meet you regular in Camla, and it's always good to meet you on the battle. And you know, there is a buzz about how it happens here and the tally men. But you know, in this mad instance where we have to wait on scores coming in, I love this because this is what elections about.
It is indeed, and there's a real buzz about the place today, and it's lovely to be here to congratulate your colleagues at this time. So,
Geraldine Donnelly, thanks very much. Thanks a million, Geraldine. We'll just wait.
At the second stage of the transfer of the surplus votes of Andrews, a total of 1,321 papers transferred. There were 115 non-transferable papers, resulting in 1,206 transferable papers at a value of 0.13. The remaining candidates received the following votes. Brown, Patrick, number of papers transferred 415, value at 0.13, 53.95. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 563.95. Burgess, Robert, number of papers transferred 65, value at 1.13, 8.45. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 1,153.45. Coogan, Mickey, number of papers transferred 87, value at 1.13, 11.31. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 160.31. Hamilton, Philip, number of papers transferred 37, value at 0.13, 4.81. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 437.81. Harry, number of papers transferred 53, value at 0.13, 6.89. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 958.89. Hughes, Eddie, number of papers transferred 336, value at 0.13, 43.68. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 595.68. Lyons, Walter, number of papers transferred 22, value at 0.13, 2.86. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 674.86. Strani, Alistair, number of papers transferred 63, value at 0.13, 8.19. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 275.19. Walker, Billy, number of papers transferred 128, 128. Value at 0.13, 16.64. Total vote at the end of stage 2, 959.64. As a result of this stage, 2 candidates have been excluded. Coogan, Mickey, Strani, Alistair. We now propose to move to stage 3 to allocate the 2 excluded candidates' votes in highest order. Are you content? Thank you.
Do you want me to give this just?
Yeah, and then can you?
Well, we're back after the Llewellyn second count, and it goes as Patrick Brown is sitting on a total of 563.95 votes. Robert Burgess is sitting on 1,153.45 votes. Mickey Coogan, well, he got 160.31 in total. He has been excluded in this one. Peter Hamilton, TUV, he's sitting at 437.81. Harry Harvey, DUP, he's sitting at 958.89 votes. Eddie Hughes, Sinn Féin, he's sitting at 595.68. Walter Lyons, Ulster Unionist Party, is sitting at 674.86. Alistair Strani, NI21, total 275.19 votes, and Billy Walker, DUP, is sitting now at 959.64, and we've been told that Alistair Strani and Mickey Coogan have now been excluded, and their votes will be distributed down through the list. So we're here for another while yet, so nobody's gone home yet. The cocoa is on the boil, and we await the other results. We also await what's happening for the second count in the Slieve Gullion ward. So don't go away, we're still here.
The total ballot papers counted was 6,612, 6612. The total number of ballot papers rejected, 98. The number of ballot papers, 6,514, 6514. The vote, 1,086, 1086. The percentage poll, 47.22%. The number of first preference votes for each candidate were Bailey, Naomi, 1031, Curran, Dermot, 1076, Enright, Cadogan, 839, Fury, Graham, 373, McConvey, Eamon, 811, McGrath, Colin, 1,279, Moore, Yvonne, 144, Sharvin, Gareth, 961. As a result, the following candidate has been deemed elected: McGrath, Colin. This also results in 2 candidates being excluded: Graham Fury and Yvonne Moore. We now propose to move to the next stage to allocate the excluded candidates' votes, totaling 517. Are you content? Thank you.
Elections. Colin McGrath from the SDLP, Downpatrick, a 5-seater. Colin, you've just picked up a seat there, 1,279 votes, and the total was 1086, so you've surpassed that, so congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm delighted to once again be able to represent the people of Downpatrick and to be able to get another period of time to work with them, hopefully delivering the services that they want and representing them on the bits and pieces that they need.
Well, Colin, you're in strange territory here at the moment up in Newry, because this is the first time that this has happened, obviously, with the new councils, but you're very welcome to Newry.
Well, I certainly don't see Newry as a strange destination. I find it a friendly destination, and I like to see that we're entering into our new arrangement as partners, and therefore we will be able to work together to ensure that we deliver for people from the whole way from Crossmaglen up to Saintfield. It's a massive district, so I can see us moving around the district rightly. But no, find Newry a lovely place, friendly place, and delighted to be here.
Colin, when you say from Crossmaglen to Saintfield, I would go a couple of miles further and say Cullaville to Saintfield. It's a huge area.
See, you've started my education for me. Thank you very much indeed, and I have to learn all these roads as well and where the little towns and villages are. And likewise, the college from Newry will be learning about Down District. But yeah, you know, we're coming together. It's going to be a very pressurised year. There's going to be a lot of long meetings to try and set in motion all of the work that has to take place. But right at the centre of all of that work is going to be the citizen, it's going to be local people, and it's going to be service delivery. That's what we have to protect. That's what people want.
Colin, I love your enthusiasm, there's no question about it. And just to let you know, it's actually 35.6 miles from Newry to Downpatrick, and it's not a great road.
I know every mile of it.
Congratulations, well done on being the first councillor elected in the Downpatrick 5-seater. Well done, and hopefully, as you said, you know the destination, your destination, Newry here, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in the future.
Brilliant, that's great, look forward to that.
Thanks a million, Colin, well done, and there we have it now, so we'll go back to Aaron upstairs and we'll just pan round. So thanks to Colin, the first councillor elected. He got 1,279 votes, and the total needed to get elected was 1,086. So well done to Colin McGrath from the SDLP.
Okay. What are you again? Audio or camera?
which is the application of the votes of the excluded candidates from Stage 2, Coogan and Strani. The process is that the votes of the highest value were transferred first, and this has resulted at the end of Stage 3A with the deemed election of Robert Burgess. We now proceed to Stage 3B, which is the transfer of the remaining votes of the lesser values of the excluded candidates. Are you content that we proceed? Thank you.
And very welcome back to Newry, Destination Newry's live streaming here of the local election results. Coming in, everything's a wee bit slow and things are quiet, but Mickey Brady, MLA, you're very, very welcome to the late special here, the election special on Destination Newry.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I think it's an interesting experience being at an election, even the verification of the votes and then the count. And it's all part of the mistake, I suppose, of elections.
Well, Mickey, we were talking there earlier on, and people was going, this is very slow and laborious and it takes an awful time. But as you rightly say, there is a mistake about local politics, and it is, Mickey, local.
Yeah, well, the old saying is all politics is local wherever it is, but I think local people get very involved. I mean, obviously we've been on the election trail this number of months and we've had people involved who aren't even necessarily party members, but people who get caught up in that. It's almost an excitement, I suppose, and people look forward to the final result. Being at the tally, being here during the count is all part of the interconnection I think that people have. Electronic voting and the electronics is okay and maybe quicker, but I think it gives people an insight into how politics works, the nuts and bolts.
Well, there's no doubt about it, and there was a lot of young people about here this afternoon, and they were just, as you say, they were totally amazed at what goes on. And you know, when we look at the tally men and the tally women, and I see them, there's more votes going out to be counted again. There is a total mistake about, particularly PR.
Well, PR is a complex system, but I think it's a system that's fair and equitable in terms of who's elected and how people are elected. And I think for young people, they have a better grasp of the mathematics involved, and I think, you know, for my generation, probably the first past the post used to be the way, which isn't a fair system. If you look back, and Thatcher was elected with a minority of votes in Britain, and then went on to wreak havoc for 10 years. Proportional representation, I think, is much more inclusive and takes in maybe independent, smaller parties and gives everybody a chance to have a go and, you know, have their views and their politics, and it is an inclusive system.
Mickey, I wouldn't even dream to ask you about how PR works, because a percentage of a vote, the votes, they seem to be coming across at about 0.3, 3.1, 3.2 of a full vote.
Well, I wouldn't even dream of trying to tell you how it works, because I'm not fully sure myself. But it is a system that people have. It's almost like working out a formula, and the people that do it very well, I have to say.
It is a formula, there's no doubt about it. And you know, they're enjoying the whole thing, because it only happens once every 4 years. And you know, this is the local voice, the local politicians. And you know what amazes me here, Mickey, is that all the politicians, there's no bickering. Everybody is very amicable here.
No. I mean, there is a consensus that people are here for a particular purpose, and everybody's entitled to their views. But I do think, in terms of the actually what happens in the PR, and that it does give people an insight and a sense of how things are done and how they should be done. And I go back to saying it's a fair system. It gives everybody a chance. And you know, we as a party have, you know, people who are very, very good and expert at doing and working out the vote management and working out the quotas and all of that. And you need that now, you know, because it's becoming increasingly more difficult, I suppose, for independents and people who don't have that party machine behind them. But I think we do very well as a party. We have you know, it's not all serious. We take our electioneering seriously, but we also we have a very good and inclusive team in Newry. We have a whole dynamic going there, and we will continue to do that for next year, for the Westminster elections and for the Assembly elections the year after.
Well, Mickey, I know you're pretty relaxed tonight, but you've all this to do next year.
Well, the year after actually, but you know, I've been through it. I've been to a count where I had to stay at a half two, and I have the greatest sympathy with anybody that is sweating it out, so to speak. But at the end of the day, you know, it's the luck of the draw. If you're going to be elected, you're going to be elected, and it's down to hard work. And we have a very, very good hard-working team throughout all our constituencies. And the Sinn Féin team is one that is progressive. It's moving forward, and we're getting a good result here, and we will get hopefully an even better result and as good a result in the south.
And there's no doubt about it, Mickey, this could be a momentous weekend for Sinn Féin right across Ireland.
Oh, with the help of God, yeah, and I think, you know, we are doing very, very well. As I said, we have 350 to 360 candidates right across the island. We're an all-Ireland party. We're doing very well here in the new council, and we have some very young, dynamic people, and, you know, we have a good mixture of age and experience and young people, and we're moving forward. And there's no doubt by 2016 the dynamic will have improved and continue. We're going towards a 32-county socialist republic.
Thanks a million, Mickey Brady.
At the third stage of the transfer of the surplus votes in Devon, a total of 1,788 papers transferred. There were 250 non-transferable papers, resulting in 1,538 transferable papers at a value of 0.27. The remaining candidates received the following votes. Hannah Glynn, number of papers transferred 28, value at 0.27, 7.56. Total vote at the end of stage 3, 1,168.73. Holden Annette, number of papers transferred 56, value at 0.27, 15.12. Total vote at the end of stage 3, 168.39. Macaulay Jill, number of papers transferred 22, value at 0.27, 5.94. Total vote at the end of stage 3, 556.36. McAvoy Kieran, number of papers transferred 220, value at 0.27, 59.4. Total vote at the end of stage 3, 322.81. Quinn Brian, number of papers transferred 1,212, value at 0.27, 329.24. Total vote at the end of stage 3, 1,131.30. As a result of these transfers, there have been no further elections or exclusions. Therefore, we propose to move to stage 4 to allocate McKee's consequential surplus from the transfers of Riley at stage 2 of 1,050 papers. Are you content? Okay, thank you.